Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me. And today we're going to do paper piecing. I think I said something about it a couple of weeks ago, and when I did a card with this die and said how pretty it would be with paper piecing. So here is a sample that I did where I used Calypso Coral and Poppy Parade. And you can see in the Calypso Coral is where I pieced the paper in. And then I left this side where it's just laying on top. Now this die is gorgeous with just designer series paper behind it, but this gives it a little extra texture. I think it makes it look more like stained glass. So this would be really pretty with gold or silver in it. But today I'm going to show you how to do this, and I hope you enjoy it. So the first thing that I'm going to do is take my black. Now, when I was prepping this, I didn't do a very good job of cutting my paper, so I apologize ahead of time. So I'm just going to ink up my, and you know I do this every time. First, with the dark colors, you want to make sure you use your embossing buddy. Now, an embossing buddy is just talcum powder in a little sock-like pouch, but it is very, very handy. So now I have inked up my stamp with Versamark, and I'm just going to stamp it here in the middle. And then with Versamark, of course, you can't see it because it's clear, but I want to show you. Look at my Versamark pad. I don't ever have a clean Versamark pad. Anyways, I have found with using white, if I want white or on anything dark colored, my best bet is to just emboss it, because I don't find that I get the saturation with just the white ink that I like. Now, you know, that's a personal preference for everybody. And okay, so now I've got that stamped and embossed with embossing powder. Oops, I have a little boo-boo there, but that's okay, you can clean it off. Have a little brush, just clean it off right there, and nobody will ever know. Okay, so I have, because the heating tool is really, really loud, I have already heated it and embossed it so that you didn't have to endure that loud noise. Now I'm going to take the die and cut out these two corners. Now I have already done that because my die cutting machine is away from this desk, so you can see what it looks like when it's cut out. Now the next thing I'm going to do is take and cut the die out in the color that I want. Now I'm going to use yellow or Daffodil Delight and Poppy Parade today, but you can use any color combination that you want. When I was playing around with it earlier, you know, I did just a solid color. And on my sample that I'll show you later, I did a solid color. But for this video, I think I'm going to show you how you can do this in multiple colors and get a little different look altogether. So I have already pre-cut my paper. One of the other things that we're going to use today is a household item called Press and Seal. Now the reason I like to use it, and I like to have some of it on my desk at all times just to catch some of my other scraps and stuff, because on one side it's sticky and on the other side it's not. So you can see how I can make it thick. So just think how nice that is to clean up glitter and whatnot. But anyways, I'm going to have cut out the die, and I've pre-done that again because my die cutting machine's not here. So I have cut it out, and as you can see, oops, I just lost a piece. I'll put that back in there. Which that's okay if you lose pieces, because sometimes they stick to my cutting mat. But I'm going to take my Press and Seal and just burnish it real good. And I know I'm making the camera shake, I apologize. So I'm going to use my bone folder, and this one especially because it's got some of these little bitty pieces that there's no way your finger or my fat finger will get in there. So I just go through and burnish it so that they'll stick. And then when I peel it off, you can see that some of them stick to it and they just come off like that. Now I have already done that to not waste your time. I have already done that in the yellow and in the Poppy Parade. So this is how they come out. You can see you're not having to figure out where each piece goes. You can see where it goes. So I'm going to take my black and I'm going to put it on a Poppy Parade card base. Now what I have done, and you can see where I stuck it down by mistake, is I have put adhesive on just the top part of my card face, and then I have taken and put adhesive right here where this piece is going to go. So if you have the old what were they called, adhesive sheets, then those work perfect too. But I just want to make sure that the whole section that this is on my card base is got adhesive on it. So I don't know if you can see that adhesive down there. I don't know if it can get the shininess of it or not. Now, if you don't want to do that, you can always just put little dabs of glue in there. That works good too. Now, I like to use tweezers just because I'm not very coordinated with my pick-me-up tool, but you know, this is exactly what this is designed for, to pull little pieces of paper and place them. So if you have one of those and want to use those, that's fine. These are just some tweezers I had from something, and so I'm just going to go and start placing my colors where I want. Now I'm going to do, I think I'll do the highlights in yellow. You know, some days you're just all thumbs. Today's going to be one of those days. So as you can see, I'm just placing these pieces in. And there again, these are just the trash pieces, the pieces that you normally throw away when you cut it out of the die. That I'm popping in here. My fingers are too big for some of these little pieces. Okay. It's really not that hard. I'm making it hard. So I'm gonna, now if you wanted to, you could make each color, oh, let me just do that. I was just gonna do highlights on this one, but I will do this whole flower in yellow, and then we'll do a whole flower or what I think is a flower. And that way you can see that the possibilities are unlimited. And it looks like this takes a lot of time. It takes more than your 5-minute card does, but if you've cornered all your pieces, it's really a piece of cake because you're not having to figure out where each piece goes. So that makes it much easier. And you can just pull them off and put them right in where they go. There again, I like the way it looks with the texture, and I think it just looks different than it laying on top of the paper. this actually looks like your inserts are coming out of your paper, which is a cool effect, I think. I should have done this in the coral, then it would have been a little more contrast so that you could see it a little better, but I didn't. And I'm trying to hurry so this video is not too terribly long, and you can see how it works. So you can see even the little pieces, you know, it's really quite simple to get them in here. And what helps when you have it from the right direction. It goes right in when you have it turned the right direction. And so you can see it just goes right in and is simple. You can make this as colorful. Like I say, you could do individual flower a different color, or you can do them all the same. It's actually kind of fun to do this, I think. But there again, I'm not into the 5-minute cards most of the time unless I'm in a hurry. Nothing wrong with 5-minute cards, but I like texture. So you can see how this gives it more texture, it gives it more pop. I like the versatility of it. So, and this is all the harder that it is. You can see how I'm placing each of those pieces. So I got a renegade here. Where it goes, it doesn't go there. So I'm going to put it over here. Probably doing more of this than what you want to see, but you get the idea of how it works and all that good stuff. That's where my renegade came from. Right there. Sometimes the press and seal is a little sticky. For some reason it really likes me, so I'm always fighting it sticking to me. Other people are okay with it, but so as you can see, this is what it looks like. There again, I think it just looks really cool. Now I haven't done these flowers, but these three I have done, so you can see how that looks. So here is my sample.